Hello, this is Darcie the Dog Trainer, owner and head trainer of CommuniCanine Training and Behavioral Counseling, where it's my passion and purpose to connect dogs and people. If you have a hard time getting your dog to come when you call, you're not alone. Of all the complaints that clients call me with, not coming is probably within the top 3 or 4. So today I want to talk a little bit about some do's and don'ts that will help tweak your come command and give you a better response. Now, today's video is in no way a substitute for a really good training program, and some of you may need to actually go back and start from scratch and build from the ground up again. But here's a few things that you can implement in the meantime that may just be the key to unlock the door for you so that you get a better response right away. Don't give your dog more freedom than he's earned. So this is a really common problem. We, of course, want to be able to run our dogs off leash, especially in the city that I live in. There's tons of awesome off-leash spaces for our dogs. But if they haven't earned the right to be off leash or the privilege to be off leash, they shouldn't be off leash yet. Otherwise, you're just giving your dog an opportunity to rehearse not coming every time you call or running away when he gets off leash. So what should you do? Well, use a long training lead. So you can buy these inexpensively at some of the Dollaramas even for $1.50. You can get a 15-foot training lead that's appropriate for dogs that are under about 50 or 60 pounds. Or you can make your own from rope that you purchase inexpensively at the hardware store along with a leash clip, and now you've got yourself a makeshift training lead. Make it at least 15 feet up to 25 or 30 feet depending on your dog. And of course, make sure the size of the rope or the leash is appropriate to the size of your dog. So this training leash will give you the control that you need in order to ensure that he can't take off and he can't ignore you when you call him. Don't think that giving your dog a pat on the head is enough of a reward. For most dogs, they're going to look at you and go, "That's it? That's all? No, see ya." So you want to make sure when they come to you that it is highly reinforcing for them, particularly in the early stages of training. So that means you've got to figure out what types of rewards your dog goes crazy for. Is it a big cuddle and touching session like if you had a golden retriever and they just, they could crawl on you all day if they would be allowed to? Or do you have a dog who loves to wrestle? Or do you play tug of war or play fetch? Or maybe you just have a dog who really only values food at this moment, and then you need to find the food that he goes the most bananas for, like cooked chicken or liver. And the rewards have to be worth doing the work for. Think about it. If you went to work and your boss gave you a handshake or a high five instead of a paycheck, would you keep going? Not likely. So especially when you're first training your dog, make the rewards worth doing the work for. And one additional note about rewarding, spend at least 10 to 20 seconds doing it. So it's not just your dog comes, you pop him a cookie and you carry on your merry way. There should be a meaningful interaction between you and that dog for a minimum of 10 or 20 seconds. So that it's not just about the food. It's about you and the interaction with you and how happy you are when they come and having a good time with you instead of just popping them a cookie and carrying on their way. So don't call your dog to you in situations that you haven't yet trained him for. One of the things I commonly see is clients will come to class and they'll start teaching the dog the come command in class, which is a very controlled situation. Even though it's distracting, it's still controlled. And then they go to the dog park or they let the dog off leash in the forest and they call him to come and he doesn't listen. And they go, "Well, he still doesn't come when I call him." Of course, you have to practice in each of the environments that you want your dog to listen in. And you need to make sure you have control of your dog while you're doing that by using the long training lead. Or making sure you're in a fenced-in area where they can't run away from you if they don't listen. So spend time practicing with your dog in every situation where you want them to be able to listen. And make sure you want to be able to guarantee that they can do it on that long training lead before you even think about taking them off of it and letting them free. Don't stand there calling your dog over and over and over if they aren't listening. Say it once. If they don't listen, go get them. End of story. And then that brings us back to one of the other don'ts I mentioned, which is then don't give them the off-leash freedom if they haven't earned it yet. But the most important thing here is once you've said come, there needs to be some kind of follow through. You need to go get them, bring them in with the training lead, give them different kinds of encouragement, but don't simply stand there and repeat yourself over and over again without doing anything different. Otherwise, if you do what you always did, you're going to continue to get what you've always gotten. So thanks for tuning in today, and hopefully these tips will help you to start getting your come command on the right track with your dog. If not, you've got the option of doing some training classes, of course, with your dog. Start researching online programs, or you can enroll in a class like my Total Recall class, which will be starting in May, that specifically focuses on just getting your dog to come in all kinds of scenarios. So keep me posted on how you do with your dog, and I will see you next week.